America's Top Model.
Next Top.
Yeah, that was season 3. You were on season. Was that season 3 you were on?
2004.
2004. This documentary comes out and it is earth-shattering, like what goes on behind the scenes. And wanted to ask you your experience and how surprised were you to learn about some of the stuff that was going on behind the scenes with America's Top Model, Next Top Model?
I was there.
That's when I was watching it. That's when I was watching it.
I actually didn't watch any seasons after 3, but I heard about things peripherally. But even if the details changed as seasons went on, the energy of like the intention of the show was consistent. So no, I wasn't surprised. And in fact, I'm not in a place where I would talk about that. I wasn't gonna, be interviewed for any documentaries over the years. Every time I had a movie come out or something, when the Tyra show was on, they would ask me to come on the show and I would just say, no, thank you. And I would, they would ask me to come on and be a judge for a later season.
Is that why? Because you're trying to separate yourself from the franchise?
Well, it was a different time. I know people keep saying it's a different time. But when I say that, I'm talking about the stigma that reality TV had that the masses didn't know about or understand. They just want you to be grateful. Meanwhile, I can tell you the names of the directors and producers who told me after the fact, either at a rap party or, on set one day, after hearing about catching wind that I had been on some show, that they would approach me and ask if it was true and reveal that had they known, they would not have hired me. So of course I stopped talking about it because I'm like, this is my focus. Yeah, I could still model, but my intention was always to kind of, supplement. I was used to doing multiple jobs. So I was doing some of that, doing catalog work, and I was teaching kids, and I was, hostessing down in the meatpacking district. Like I was doing multiple things. And for me, modeling was one of those things, but the passion was always acting. To answer your previous question, to go back, from Mrs. Rattray's class at 11 years old. She got me my first acting jobs at 11 years old. I did educational films that they show in schools.
Yes, I love that.
That was my introduction. So my first paid job ever was acting. So I always loved it. I always wanted to see if this was the place for me to build a career.
In modeling.
In acting.
In acting, yeah.
Yeah. Everything else was supplemental, pay the bills, right? Because in the beginning, acting, it doesn't pay the bills. Right? You got to pay your dues.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't the climate for me to talk about it. And it wasn't in my best interest because people without the understanding that they now have 20 years later after watching a documentary, it's the same thing as the scientists. It's like, but I said this 20 years ago and y'all said that I was crazy or ungrateful.
Ungrateful or speaking against Tyra.
Or being mean. And I'm like, no,
that's a good point.
I'm just saying that it was a gnarly experience.
Because you had an African experience, an African scene
it.
in the America's Next Top Model. What were your thoughts on that? Or in the documentary, there was the entire African scene that they had in.
I don't think they showed her.
No, not her.
There's 2 versions.
Yeah,
there's
of the
Dirty Rotten Scandals, and then there's there's 2 of them now.
Right.
There's one on YouTube, Dirty Rotten Scandals with the Bob Barker stuff, which is insane. But there's 2 versions of the Next Top Model, just to let you know.
Yeah.
So when you say African stuff, are you talking about...
No, there's an African scene where they tried
blackface?
The blackface one, yep.
Oh, okay. I mean, I had heard about it back then, and again, I just wasn't surprised, A lot of the stuff that, I journal. I always have. And so even when the LA fires happened, when I evacuated, home was safe, but I remember, I'm like, what am I really packing? Like, what am I taking with me? My kid, our documents, and my journals. I had a couple suitcases of journals. I was like, I want to, I have like the story of my life here. And so because I journal, when the show aired and I was experiencing cognitive dissonance, but like, wait, this is not what I remember, because they edit this from the last week and they're creating all this story and the writers are going, I was like, what? And I could check myself or talk to the other girls and be like, hey, are you okay? I know they're doing some funny stuff. So I experienced difficulty, not just on the show, but in the aftermath because of the editing, because of the different group consciousness. Right. So people were approaching me, right, as a character and not who I really was. And that was another form of grieving, where I had to like grieve my relationship with the public and understand, that Nina Simone song, "Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood." That was like, oh, what was me? It was like the energy of the 2000s for me. And I had a whole healing journey, coming out of that. So listen, people have told me for a long time, you're ahead of your time. This is very old news to me, and the only thing I'm interested in talking about is the healing part.
Well, here's what I have something to admit though. When I used to watch all the shows from American Idol to Project Runway, because it was a big thing. It was just cool to watch the competition. So I remember when I would see Yaya, I go, man, she always looks mean, yo. Because when you're out not smiling, your face is like, I was like, yo, she looks like she's mad. I was like, there goes that Yaya again. She looks mad. And now you start to understand, because now that I know, I'm like, oh my God, she's totally all kinds of things. But I just knew you from the show. I'd be like, she always has that face, man. That's just me. When I would see you, just be like, I'd be like, yo, she must be pissed off at these people, I swear. She looks good, but here's that Yaya.
Actually, there were a few moments, right, of being pissed off. But actually, we had a lot of fun.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
We had a lot of fun. But showing you all a fun experience is not good for ratings.
You're right.
Right.
Because you have to show the drama.
The drama.
It was crazy to see even how they they try to produce the drama in that when you start looking at behind the scenes. What's the money like in modeling versus acting?
It just depends on who you are.
Facts.
There's no...
Yeah.
Where did you make more, in modeling or in acting?
Well, in the beginning, I wasn't making much acting. I think like Off-Broadway at the time was paying like $375 a week or something like that. Whereas in acting, you could shoot a catalog, maybe get paid $1,000. This is back then. I don't know what it is now.
Right now. Okay,
But you have actors that are making scale, and then you have actors that are making tens of millions. So there's no answer really to that question.
Yeah. Because I've always wondered, because I don't know that world,
Yeah.
As far as acting. And,
You know how many unemployed actors there are?
Right.
So many.
154, we all connected, baby, you already know. I'm talking 154, we bringing Africa around the whole globe. Ain't no place like home.